I recommend that you don't say a statement that says my wife is the whole and then pause for a second. Probably not a good one. What's up, everyone? Joe Gray here today with another AMA warm up where I get to talk to our upcoming AMA guests. Today I'm joined by Kris from Belt Fed Strength. Kris, what's up,
Hey,
dude?
bud. How are you? Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Yeah, of course. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Dealing with this cold snap we got going on here, but hopefully all that's over with.
Yeah, what's the temp?
I think the high is 44 today.
Fun. Yeah, so Northern
It's 80
California,
2 days
we
ago.
were in the like 70s
Yep.
for like a week, and then now it's back down to sweatshirt weather and stuff like that. So
Same here.
yeah, I don't know what's going on.
82 days ago.
Yep. All
Jeez.
right. All right, man. So we tend to jump straight into these, get them rolling. That way people get their details and can make sure they head over to the AMA.
Yes.
So our first question is, who are you? Why are you here?
So my name's Kris. I'm the half, and most would say rightfully so, the lesser half of Belt Fed Strength. It's me and the wife. We're the only two employees. We little custom boutique style belt factory here in East Tennessee. Kind of stumbled into this, never really planned on having any sort of leather business or never really planned on leaving the military or law enforcement. Kind of just fell into this. It's become a little bigger than we thought it was going to get, a little faster. So we're kind of trying to play catch up in our minds most of the times. Seems still pretty unreal. I think we have the home gym community by far to thank for that. I initially thought it was going to be the strongman folks I'd be selling belts to because that's who I knew and that's who I was hanging around.
Uh,
No, it's been home, garage, basement, everybody at home. It's been keeping us afloat, and we're real thankful for it.
Yeah, it's a common discussion I've had with guys like Kim at Barbell
Mhm.
Rescue and others, where they were like, "Yeah, I thought I was going to sell a bunch of brushes to commercial
Right.
gyms,"
Yep.
and he goes, and then all of a sudden, I'm getting, a bunch of individual orders from people all over the place, and he
Yep.
starts trying to figure out why that's happening and who it's coming from, and then, oh, okay, it's all these
Yeah.
people who lift at home, and so yeah.
Speaking of this
Uh,
whole underground world that you
yep.
didn't know about.
Yep. Yeah, I had discussions with people at one point. I think it was when COVID kind of started.
Mhm.
You had all these companies who like kind of had to reconcile and understand that the
Right.
home gym place was a real thing.
An actual market, right?
Yep. And because before that, they would do this math like, oh, well, I could sell $25,000 of equipment to one gym, and then they'd open
Right.
up 15 more gyms and, whatever, and they do that math. But they never really did the math of like they're like, well, a home gym is only one person. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, kind of. I mean, it's one person who talks to one person who talks to one person
Exactly.
who then helps another person. And,
Yeah.
you get in one home gym and it's the right time at the right place and whatever. And you could get in 10,000 home gyms.
Yep.
And sure, sending $10,000 worth of equipment to one place is more efficient than
Right.
sending $10,000 of equipment to 10 places. But like, at the end of the day, it's still like you're still doing your thing.
Still ten
So
thousand orders. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah,
Yeah, that's what I like about it too, man. I hate the business side of all this with a passion for many, many, many reasons.
yep,
And while it's nice being able to do fairly large batches of stuff, that's boring. And I much prefer the, for lack of a better word, the intimacy of the one-on-one stuff and doing
sure,
custom orders and really getting to know people. That's
yep,
by far the best part for me.
right on. I like it. All right, man. So you mentioned strongman. So the next question is, tell me about your lifting experience.
So I started way back when I was around 12. My dad and grandpa and all their buddies used to lift quite a bit back in the 80s and 90s, and they were all, vastly stronger than I was ever going to be to hear them tell it, and rightfully so for a long time. Uh, Dad took me when I was about 12 to this dungeon of a gym, and knowing myself now, knowing what I did back then, I did this on purpose, but I fell and hurt myself and made it as miserable as possible so I wouldn't have to go back. And I succeeded. He didn't take me back. But once I got in the Marine Corps, a little bit in high school. I didn't bench 405 in high school like most of these guys did, but um, mainly when I got in the Marine Corps, I started hanging out in the gym a little bit more because I hated running. So if you'd get a chance to do whatever PT you wanted, I'm not pounding pavement. I'm going to the
Sure.
gym. So got into it a little bit there, got out, and kind of kept it going. And when I started watching the old 80s and 90s World's Strongest Man again, it lit it up in me. So about 24 now. I'd say about 10 years now. We've been going back at it pretty hard. Started competing in strongman, and I'm not as to be a super heavyweight. I'm not as strong as I should be, but
Sure.
I'm better than I was last time.
Yeah.
It's that community though. The first strongman meet I ever did, which is kind of what started the belt business. It I don't know. It was hard to find that kind of kinsmanship and people supporting each other in any other place in civilian life, and latched onto that, and it's been great ever since.
Yeah, the thing I've always liked about the lifting community is one, I think most people grasp the concept that it's not necessarily about being better than anybody else, it's about being better than you were
Right.
before, right?
Absolutely.
And anyone who's done it for any length of time gets the investment and the time, not
Mm.
only in the gym, but out of the gym, right? The eating and the
Exactly.
sleeping and the supplements and the drinking the water and the
Yeah.
reading about, hey, why does my shoulder hurt and how to fix that and, all this different stuff. And having that kind of camaraderie of like, we both get it and can support each other kind of thing is
Mhm.
huge. And that I
That
see,
voluntary hardship.
yeah, as opposed to a lot of sports that are really competitive, it's like, I don't want to help you because if I help
Yeah.
you, you're going to beat me kind of thing. Whereas in lifting, I don't see that very often. I see this like, hey, how'd you get your deadlift up? And that person's
Yeah.
like ready to give them every single
Yeah.
thing that made them get there, right?
Draw them a
So,
mat for it. Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
As opposed to like rec league softball, which I played for a little while.
mm-hmm.
Man, you talk about some. I, I'm sure they're great people otherwise, but good Lord, man, they are. There's no reason to be that competitive and that
Yep.
hateful about softball.
Uh, even I coach my daughter's sports, and I mean, you can
Mhm.
see it at she's 6. You can
Yep.
see it in the 6-year-olds in soccer.
Yep.
We're out there, we're working real hard with the girls, and our requirements are they work hard and they have fun, right?
Yep.
So it's got to be those two pieces. And we play some other teams, and if they're not winning like easy, they're over on the sideline like this kind of
Yeah.
thing, and they're all whiny, and it's like, how what is your life? Like, I just
Yeah.
don't get that one. So yeah, so I love that community side of just we're all in this together, we're gonna push
Yep.
each other forward kind of thing. So.
Same.
All right, number 3. What's your experience with the home gym community? You shared a little bit about, you're here, you think
Mhm.
mostly because of it, but, what else? Do you lift at home? Those kinds of things.
So other than during COVID, we our house is now taken over by a leather shop. Um, we ain't got much room for a home gym. We
Yep.
do strongman Saturdays here every now and then. Uh, but my experience, my exposure to the home gym, garage gym community was pretty much nothing until right, I guess, as the pandemic was kind of coming down. I got introduced to the home gym Discord. That's
Yep.
where I got my feet wet, and I was kind of blown away. Like, I don't, is this, like we said earlier, you see this whole community that
Mm-hmm.
exists behind the curtains or whatever. And it was crazy. And there were such nice people and supportive and asked questions. They seemed genuinely interested in things. And
Yep.
I've seen a little bit of that in other communities I've been in. Like, I used to shoot competitively when I was a cop. Um, and you get, wasn't exactly as welcoming, but it's kind of the
Sure.
same principle. Decent people who are really interested in something and want to share that with other people. And but it was just completely different with these guys and girls. It was, I don't know, I think it maybe was just the right time in my life. I needed that kind of camaraderie.
Sure. Yeah. No, I know I've talked to, there's a handful of people that I work with behind the scenes on some stuff that spent a lot of time on the Discord that helped me with some garage, some competition
Yeah.
stuff. and we'll talk about different companies or whatever. And your name has come up before, and they're like, "Yeah, we're a belt fed home." Uh, and that idea of like, yeah, the Discord decided, hey, if you're gonna have a belt, you're gonna have a belt fed strength belt. So
Yeah, they're pretty rabid, and I appreciate it. I try not to encourage it too much, but it's I don't know, it's definitely strange to feel that kind of support.
yeah,
And
especially
that's
from
just my
people you don't know,
right.
right? Yeah.
And that coupled with my habitual low self-esteem anyway, I don't feel like I deserve anybody's support.
I get it. I get it. All right, man. So we're gonna take that one and we're gonna turn it into our next question, which is, why should people buy their next weight belt from you?
So maybe this is the low self-esteem talking. But this is something I truly 100% believe in. I am a horrible, horrible salesman. And I think I could, if you give me 30 seconds, I'll give you 300 people that'll tell you that. You can have plenty of examples, but I I don't think you should. I think you should spend your money where you want. I think you should spend your time where you want. Um, I'm not going to ask anybody for anything. Uh, I want my work, my words, and everything to stand on their own merit. But if you're looking for somebody you want to hang out with, be a friend to, somebody who can give advice on whatever, no matter what brand it is, and as impartial as possible. I know I've gotten some. I think my jokes were taken the wrong way a few times. I don't. There are a few people that I will not support, like some of these vinyl printed imported.
Yeah.
Like Matt and I from Pioneer both agree on this wholeheartedly. Little 17,000 layers of leather scraps pushed together. Don't buy those belts. Buy anybody. Just don't buy those.
Yep.
But I'm not looking for customers. I'm looking for, sounds cliche. I'm looking for friends. I want relationships.
Sure.
I'm not trying to build partnership or business, whatever. I want to make folks happy. I spent a whole lot of my life doing the exact opposite, by proxy of some of the stuff I was involved with, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make things better. Let's
Yep.
put it.
I know yourself, you mentioned Matt from Pioneer. There's only a few that actually make their
Right.
belts,
Yeah.
right? So I know Matt has brought up in the past, I think it's Cardillo.
Yeah.
He's like really big about like my belt, this thing, and he spends
Yeah.
a unbelievable amount of money on advertising and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff, but he doesn't even make his belts.
Nope.
And which like it's cool, right? It's
Yeah.
totally okay to rebrand and
Mhm.
white label and all kinds of stuff. People do it with Pioneer stuff. They sell Pioneer belt with their name on it and the whole deal. That's not a knock. It's the like lack of authenticity from
Right.
Cardillo on how he handles that.
Yeah. I agree.
I even got one of those like real spammy DMs from
Yeah.
Cardillo at one point, trying to tell me that I could enter this contest and win a belt and whatever. And I'm like, dude, your 1 million followers isn't enough.
Right. You really need that much more.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's
um,
that marketing side of it really. If I'm not laughing about it or trying to do some sort of added benefit, it's not enjoyable to me at all.
yeah, I
I
agree.
don't get it.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do with what you've got.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, and are you familiar with GarX?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of their new guys on board and talking about he's kind of this like inside sales type dude trying to build relationships. And he says, I'm not really a sales guy, but I'm trying to learn some of it. And I told him, I said, my stance has always been I can sell anything to somebody who wants it.
Right.
I
I
have
like
no
that.
problem. Like someone comes to me and is like, hey, I want to know about a deadlift bar. I'll give you all the details about a
Yeah.
deadlift bar.
I
But if
like that.
someone's like, "Hey, I want to buy this bar," I'm like, "No, you should buy a deadlift
You
bar."
should,
Like
right.
you're never gonna find me doing that. So,
I like that. I need to meet that guy.
yeah. All right. Last question. Wrap it up. This is the most important one. Number 5. Tell me one reason why people should be excited about your upcoming AMA.
If you're a fan of self-deprecation, you're gonna love it. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll find something I can say to at least make it worth your time.
There you go. So, what's your plans in the AMA? So, a lot of I know you've got backgrounds in lifting and stuff. You've got your leather work, etc. Some people open it up only to the business side. Are you going to answer questions about lifting and strongman and log clean and press and whatever? Or
We'll do whatever. We'll do as long as I feel like I'm qualified to answer it. And if I'm not, I'll let them know.
cool,
But I don't. There's not really anything I'd like to close off. A lot of my life's public record anyway, so um, I can't think of anything. That's probably
awesome.
going to come back and get me. There'll be somebody will find the one thing that I didn't want to talk about.
Chris, tell me about that one video that one time where you did that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. How did you find that Google Drive?
Yeah. For anybody who, hasn't seen Chris's work before, I know guys like Adam at Garage Gym Lab and a bunch of others have very, very, very intricately detailed custom belts from Kris, to a whole just another level that you don't tend to find anywhere else. So make sure you check those out. If I find some real easily, I'll put them in the description.
Thank you.
The other thing I'll put in the description down below is the details for the AMA. So that way you can show up, ask Kris questions, find out some more details about who he is, what he does. If you got strongman questions, whatever it is. I think you're going to be at HomeGym Con, right?
It will be. Yep. Me and the
Okay,
wife.
so anybody going can go talk to Kris there as well. I think that's it. Anything else, man?
I think that's it, man. If the wife's really the biggest talent on, she does all the artwork and the carving and painting, and I just make the leather goods. So
I recommend that you don't say a statement that says "my wife is the whole" and then pause for a second. Probably not a good one, but I'm with you.
maybe
All right,
that was
dude.
let's take
Uh,
that down.
Good chat. Like I said, this will go up on YouTube. Everyone check it out. Descriptions down below. Details on the AMA. Ask Kris questions. See him at Home Gym Con, all that good stuff. That's it. Thanks,
Sounds
dude.
good. Thanks, man. See you, brother.